Good morning, everyone. We have to do a database chapter with open office also because sometimes open office option, open office questions can also come in exam. So, what are the different types of data types in open office? So, in this chapter, again, we have to do the same thing that we have done with SQL. We have to create table. We have to write the queries. We have to design. This time we have to do two extra things also, that is reports and forms. What is form means, like, suppose like you have created a table in which you are taking your fields are, or your columns are name, class, section, roll number, and you are collecting this data from everyone. So using form you can collect this data in an easier way. Instead of directly entering the data into the table, you can collect it through form also. So form is basically used to collect the data from the users. And what is report? Report means, report is a presentable form of anything. Like suppose if you wanted to extract few records of students who are scoring more than 90% in Hindi or English or any one particular subject, then you can display it in the form of reports with the help of open office. So report means a presentable form of anything, right? It could be a query, it could be a table, or it could be anything. So that is report. And table, everybody is already aware of. Table is a collection of rows and column. Okay, so the main thing is in SQL, we have seen the different types of data types. We can have integer. If you wanted to store some integer type of value, numeric value, then you can use integer data type. If you wanted to store some decimal value, then you can use decimal data type. Or there is a long integer also, in which you can enter a long numeric value also, right? And except that, we have a char, we have a varchar. All these were the data types, and date also. All these were the data types of SQL. But in open office we have some more data types. First is like boolean. Boolean can store only two variables, two numbers, that is 0 and 1, right? So there is no other number required. Signed means, signed is no means it cannot accept the negative value. So next is tiny int. Tiny int is also a type of integer. So it can store all the numbers from 0 to 255, and it can also not store negative number. Similarly, next is small int, which can store up to minus 2 raised to power 15 numeric characters to positive 2 raised to power 14, 2 raised to power 15 minus 1. So this amount of value it can store. Then next is integer, then big int. The range is actually increasing, nothing else, no other changes is happening. So the range, or the number of characters which they can store, only that is increasing. Next is numeric, in which there is no limit, means you can enter any number of characters or numbers. There is no particular range, up millions, trillions, कोई भी numbers enter कर सकते हो. Then next is decimal. Again, there is no limit, but it can also hold the decimal values. Real, float, and double. You need not to learn all these at least, but you should be aware of at least 3 to 4 integer type of characters. So decimal is there, big int is there, small int is there, boolean is there, and integer is there. Float, double, all these, any four you can learn. Next is alphanumeric type. Alphanumeric type, which can hold characters as well as numbers. Okay, so these are the types of alphanumeric data types: long varchar, varchar, char, and var ignore case. Ignore case is little different, means here this is not case sensitive. Even if you are writing in capital letters or you are writing in small letters, it doesn't make any difference. Otherwise, if you are using long varchar or char or varchar, it makes a difference. If you are writing something in capital letters and you are trying to search the same value, then you have to write in the same way as you have written earlier. right? Next is binary type. Binary type is binary means it can store only two values, 0 and 1. So here we have a long binary number, a normal binary number, which can hold up to 2 GB of data, and var binary, which can store array of bytes. Array of bytes means uh, the group of bytes it can store. Next is date and time. Date and time, we have date data type, we have time data type, and we have timestamp, which can store both and both date and time. And other variable types is like which can store objects. Objects means images, videos, audios, these all these things also it can store. Okay, now let's understand how to create a table in open office. So here we will open office. This is open office base. Create a new database. You can give a name to your database. Create tables using wizard. Finish. You can give a name like I'm giving demo. Okay. Now here we have different options. You can create tables. You can create queries. Queries means on the basis of the tables which you have created earlier, you wanted to withdraw some data from the tables. So for that you can create queries. Forms means, as I told you, if you wanted to enter some more details in your tables, more records, if you wanted to add some more records in your table, then you can create form for the addition of records in a table. And reports means a presentable form of a table or a query or anything. So if you wanted to present the data of your table or of a query, then you can present it in the form of reports. So we can design tables in two different ways. Either we can do it using design view or you can do it using wizard. Similarly, query also, we have three different options. You can create a query using design view. You can create a query using wizard, and you can create it using SQL also. So all SQL commands comes under query only. Next is form. Again, in form, we have two different options. We can design it ourselves or we can create it using wizard. Similarly, in report, we have only one option. We can create it using wizard. We cannot do the designing by ourselves. So what is the difference between creating a table using wizard and creating it through design view? Design view means it is totally up to you how you are going to uh, हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू डिजाइन योर टेबल. आपका टेबल कैसे दिखेगा, उसमें कितने फील्ड्स होंगे, कितने कॉलम्स होंगे, उनके क्या नेम होंगे, ऑल दीज थिंग्स यू आर गोइंग टू डिसाइड योरसेल्फ हाउ इट विल लुक. So everything you have to decide yourself. That is design view. And wizard means everything is ready, you just have to drag and drop and use it. So let's create a table using wizard first. So I'll be creating two tables for students. One will be the personal details of the students and one will be, let's say, the marks details of the students, right? So I'm creating a table for students. I can make it as a customer. So I wanted to add customer ID. You can edit all these headings also. So customer ID, we can make it a student ID, and then we can add first name or last name. We can give a only name, mobile number, address, class and section. We also want class and section. So right now I'm just taking a random department, could be class. We will change it later. Finish. Sorry, we don't have to click on finish. Delete. Do it again. We have to click on next at that time. Create table using wizard. Let's check if there is any personal, may if we have a category of students. No. Go to business. I'll select employee. Let's take employee this time. Employee ID will be there. We will convert it into student ID. Employee ID. Then first name, we will convert it into name. Then address and contact number, mobile number. Then address. Okay, let's say and class and section also I wanted to create. So class and section, I can take it as a department. Section. Next. Now click on next. Now, if you wanted to edit it, you can edit the names. Like instead of employee ID, I want student ID. Or you can write admission number. Okay, it will store which type of data? It will store a numeric data, or if it will store a varchar, which will be a combination of integer as well as numbers as in our school. So you can use this. Otherwise, right now I am taking it as a integer only. Okay, auto value means do you want your system to add the values automatically? No, I don't want. And length means how many number of characters or how many number of numbers you can enter. So 10. Next is first name. Instead of first name, I wanted to make it a student name. Text 50 length. Okay, mobile number instead of that. My mobile number is fine, then address is fine. Then instead of department, I wanted to change it to class. Class will store seventh and eighth. All these classes are in Roman number, so it will be a character. So we can take it as a text only. 50 characters are allowed. And then this could be a section. Next. We have done all editing. Now create a primary key. Do you want it to create a primary key or use an existing field as a primary key? So I don't want it to create a new primary key. I wanted to use existing field as a primary key. So in my case, admission number will be the primary key. So here I will select admission number. Again, here you have an option. You wanted to create it as auto value, so automatically values आएंगी, but I don't want to do that. I will enter the admission number by my own. Next, what do you want the name of the table? Table name will be personal details. Insert data immediately, modify the table design or create form based on this table. So I wanted to insert the data first. So click on finish. Now let's say D123 student name. Okay, sorry, I think I have taken only numeric as admission number. So one student name, Diti, mobile number, let's say any mobile number, address AB 156 Uttam Nagar, class 7, section A, roll number 2, PT, mobile number C56, Dwarka, class 7, roll number 3, it's A45, Dwarka. This is again 7A. So I have added only 3 records till now. Let's save it. Save all the 3 records and close it. Now the table is already created. If you wanted to check, you can double click on the table and the table will open. Now, if you wanted to do any type of sorting, filtering, you can apply here directly. Like suppose I wanted to filter the records of all those students whose name starts with A, student name, condition. So it should be like A, student name like, do we have any other thing? Let's say I wanted to extract the classes which are equal to let's do some changes in the table first. It is section B and this is class 8. Now filter. Yes, save the data. I wanted to extract the class which is equals to 7. Okay. So now only 2 records are coming. So filtering also, and you can also apply sorting. So I wanted to sort this data according to the names of the students. So student name you will select, then A to Z. So now they are arranged according to student's name. So sorting and filtering directly we can apply on the table. Now close it. So this is how we have created a table with the help of wizard. Now next is create table in design view. Now in design view, you can give the names yourself. So here I'm adding admission number again. Serial for serial number, which will be the primary key of this table, and admission number will be foreign key because it is already a primary key of some other table. Admission number will hold, this will hold numeric value, integer value. Admission number will hold again numeric value, integer value. Then marks you can enter Hindi, English, maths, science, SST. So all will hold only integer values. So we have created the table, you can save it. I wanted to give a name of marks. Okay. Unique index primary key, you wanted to create primary key, yes. तो ID ले लिया उसने, तो we can remove serial number there. Okay, save it now. Now go to tools and check the relationship. Add, add. Now create a relationship. This admission number and this admission number are connected. So we can connect them like this. So it means the primary key of this table will become the foreign key of this table. So they are same. So that's why they are connected, right? So if you wanted to create report card now, you can take the personal details of the students from this table and you can extract the marks details of students from this table. So like this, you can create relationship between two tables. So this is one to many, because one student must be having many subjects, must be doing many subjects, and they are scoring marks in all the subjects. So this is one to many relationship. Okay, so this is how we can create relationship. Now let's go to close it. Yes, we want to save it. So this is how we have created the table. Now in the next class, we will learn how to create query, forms and reports using these two tables which I've created. Right now, we have also not entered any marks in this table. So I can do it. Admission number 1, Hindi 50, 60, 75, 67, number 2, 46, 17, any random marks you can enter. So 3 students we have created there and 3 we are creating here. Right, save it. Okay, sorry, here we have violated the rule. It should be this way. Saved, table is saved now. Check. Right? So this is how you can create different tables using different views. We have created one table using design view and the other table using wizard.